Iran and Israel, two nations locked in a decades-long shadow war. But behind the headlines, a deadlier game unfolds. The surgical eliminations of Iran's top minds and generals, allegedly by Israeli intelligence. These are not random acts, but calculated moves in a high-stakes chess match for regional dominance and nuclear power. Today, we'll peel back the layers of denial and look at the masterminds behind Iran's most sensitive programs and the covert operations designed to stop them. Let's dive into the world of espionage, where the lines between war and peace are blurred and the consequences are global. To grasp the audacity of this shadow war, we must understand the key players and the stakes involved. This conflict isn't fought on traditional battlefields, but in the shadows with intelligence agencies and special forces as the primary combatants. Let's start with Qasem Soleimani, a man who was more than a general. He was an icon. For over 2 decades, he led Iran's Quds Force, the elite branch of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps responsible for extraterritorial operations. He was instrumental in shaping conflicts from Syria, propping up the Assad regime and battling ISIS, to Yemen, where he supported the Houthi rebels against the Saudi-led coalition. Soleimani was also responsible for building a vast network of proxy militias throughout the Middle East, extending Iran's influence far beyond its borders. These groups acted as extensions of Iranian power, furthering Tehran's strategic goals. Revered as a national hero at home, he was feared and reviled abroad, particularly by the United States and Israel. Soleimani was the architect of Iran's regional power, the mastermind behind its strategy of asymmetric warfare. For years, Western and Israeli intelligence agencies had been hunting him, desperate to neutralize his influence. But he was a ghost, seemingly untouchable. He was constantly changing plans and itineraries, making him incredibly difficult to track. He was known for using burner phones and other secure communication devices, further complicating surveillance efforts. And he moved with a tight security detail, making any direct approach extremely risky. Tracking him became a top priority for intelligence agencies around the world, a relentless pursuit. And Israeli intelligence, with its extensive reach and resources in the region, played a crucial role in this effort. They relied on deep networks of informants and assets on the ground, and they employed old-school spycraft, combining cutting-edge technology with traditional intelligence-gathering techniques. All of this was done to build a comprehensive pattern of his life, his movements, and his contacts. The breakthrough finally came in late 2019 after years of painstaking work. The critical intelligence, reportedly originating from Israel, provided the key piece of the puzzle. It pinpointed Soleimani's flight plans with unprecedented accuracy, specifically his planned route from Damascus to Baghdad. Then, on January 3, 2020, the opportunity presented itself. As his convoy left Baghdad International Airport, it was a sitting duck. A U.S. drone strike, authorized at the highest levels, was launched. It killed him instantly, along with several of his key aides. The world was stunned by the news. Iran lost its most celebrated military hero, a figure who had shaped the country's foreign policy for decades, and the entire region teetered on the edge of a full-blown war, bracing for the inevitable retaliation. The U.S. government took public credit for the strike, justifying it as a defensive measure. But behind the scenes, it was clear that Israeli intelligence had provided the critical tip-off that made the operation possible. This was a textbook example of U.S.-Israel collaboration in the fight against terrorism and regional threats. Israeli intelligence providing the eyes and ears, and American firepower delivering the final blow. The fallout from Soleimani's assassination was immense and far-reaching. Iran vowed swift and decisive revenge for the killing of its beloved general. And in the days that followed, they launched a series of missile strikes on U.S. military bases in Iraq. But beyond the immediate retaliation, the message sent by the assassination was clear and unmistakable. No one, regardless of their status or power, is truly untouchable. Not even Iran's most powerful and influential general, Qasem Soleimani. Soleimani's death wasn't just about the elimination of one man, it had far wider implications. It was a strategic decapitation of Iran's regional strategy, a blow to its entire foreign policy apparatus. It significantly disrupted Iran's entire network of proxy militias and destabilized its regional ambitions. The Quds Force, once a highly efficient and effective organization, was thrown into disarray and struggled to recover. and Iran's broader regional ambitions suffered a major blow, setting back its strategic goals for years to come. The operation also showcased Israel's core strategic approach to dealing with threats in the region: to use superior intelligence capabilities to identify and track high-value targets, and then to surgically remove those threats with precision military strikes. All of this is done to preemptively neutralize threats before they fully materialize and cause irreparable damage. They may not have been the ones to physically pull the trigger on the drone, but they were instrumental in aiming the gun, providing the crucial intelligence that made the strike possible. The entire operation was a masterclass in modern espionage and intelligence gathering, and a chilling preview of the escalating shadow war that continues to unfold in the Middle East and beyond. If Soleimani was the king on the military chessboard, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was the grandmaster of Iran's nuclear ambitions. Known as the father of Iran's bomb, Fakhrizadeh was a shadowy figure, shielded by the regime and targeted by foreign intelligence. In 2018, Israel publicly marked him as their top target. The operation to eliminate him was unprecedented. On November 27, 2020, Fakhrizadeh traveled with his wife in an armored convoy near Tehran. Suddenly, a remote-controlled, AI-assisted machine gun, mounted on a parked pickup, opened fire. The weapon, smuggled into Iran and assembled by Mossad, was controlled via satellite from thousands of miles away. Using facial recognition, it identified Fakhrizadeh and fired with surgical precision, sparing his wife. The entire attack lasted less than a minute. The truck exploded, destroying evidence, while the Mossad team had already left the country. Iran immediately blamed Israel, calling it state terrorism. The operation's complexity, AI, remote control, deep infiltration, was a clear calling card. It sent a message: Israel's reach is limitless, and its technology is generations ahead. The assassination left Iran's security services humiliated and its nuclear program in chaos. Fakhrizadeh's assassination was the climax of a decade-long campaign targeting Iran's nuclear scientists. Between 2010 and 2012, a deadly pattern emerged. Iran's top scientists were systematically eliminated. The methods were varied: sticky bombs, drive-by shootings, but always precise and audacious. The first major casualty, Masoud al-Mohammadi, killed by a motorcycle bomb outside his home. Soon after, Majid Shahriari died from a magnetic bomb attached to his car, while Faridun Abbasi Davani narrowly survived a similar attack. The assassin struck in broad daylight, demonstrating deep intelligence and nerve. In 2011, Dariush Razainajad was shot dead outside his daughter's kindergarten, a chilling escalation. The final blow came in 2012. Mustafa Ahmadi Roshan, deputy director at Natanz, killed by another magnetic bomb. These were not random acts, but a systematic effort to dismantle Iran's nuclear brain trust. Iran responded with crackdowns and show trials, but the campaign forced the program deeper underground and created a climate of paranoia. Western intelligence pointed to Mossad, using local assets and meticulous planning. The result? Iran's nuclear program was crippled, its scientists living in fear, and its resources diverted to security. How does Mossad pull off such daring operations, often in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds? What are the key ingredients that make their operations so effective and at times so audacious, deep inside hostile territory? It starts with human intelligence, the bedrock of any successful espionage endeavor. Recruiting local assets, often motivated by ideology, a powerful driver for those seeking change or driven by conviction. Money, a pragmatic incentive that can open doors and loosen tongues or grievances. Exploiting personal dissatisfaction can turn potential adversaries into valuable allies. Mossad's case officers spend months, even years, patiently cultivating sources, nurturing relationships that become the lifeblood of their operations, building trust, a bond that can withstand immense pressure and scrutiny, and gathering critical details, piecing together the puzzle one fragment at a time. About targets, routines, and vulnerabilities. This meticulous preparation is paramount. Operations are broken into isolated cells, a network of specialists, surveillance, logistics, execution, each with a specific task, so no one knows the full plan, ensuring operational security. This compartmentalization protects the mission, safeguarding it from compromise, if anyone is caught. Technology is the force multiplier, amplifying their capabilities and reach. AI, facial recognition, and remote-controlled weapons minimize risk to operatives, It allows them to strike with precision from a safe distance. Decoy teams and misdirection are classic tactics, used to create confusion and exploit vulnerabilities, creating confusion and drawing attention away from the real operation. It's a magician's trick on a global scale. The 2018 theft of Iran's nuclear archive is a prime example, a daring raid that showcased Mossad's capabilities. Mossad agents disabled alarms, cut through safes, and smuggled out half a ton of documents. A treasure trove of information, all thanks to inside intelligence and flawless logistics. It was a symphony of espionage. Mossad's doctrine is high risk, high reward, a willingness to push the boundaries of what's possible. The potential to stop a nuclear Iran justifies the danger. For them, the stakes couldn't be higher. Mastery of logistics and exfiltration, essential for ensuring the safety of their operatives, using forged passports, clandestine routes, and careful planning. Every detail meticulously considered ensures operatives and equipment get in and out undetected. It's a delicate dance of deception and precision. Each operation is a message, a carefully crafted statement, not just eliminating a target, but leaving Iran feeling powerless and exposed. It's a demonstration of their reach and capabilities. This blend of old-school spycraft, the art of human intelligence and tradecraft, and cutting-edge tech, the latest advancements in surveillance and weaponry, is why Mossad remains one of the world's most feared intelligence agencies. Their reputation precedes them. After each operation, a carefully orchestrated dance of denial and implication begins. The world, often caught between condemnation and quiet understanding, looks to Israel for answers, and gets only silence. A calculated silence. This policy of strategic ambiguity, honed over decades, is a weapon in itself, a non-committal stance that keeps everyone guessing. By never confirming or denying involvement, Israel maintains plausible deniability. Israel avoids giving Iran a clear reason for all-out war, preventing a full-scale regional conflict, keeping the conflict in the shadows, a realm of covert actions and unspoken threats. The silence is loud. It speaks volumes to those who understand the nuances of Middle Eastern politics. The sophistication of the attacks is the signature. The precision and technological prowess leave little doubt as to the perpetrator. Tehran knows who's behind it. They understand the game being played, even if the world doesn't hear it said aloud. The unspoken truth hangs heavy in the air. This ambiguity sows paranoia within Iran, creating an atmosphere of suspicion and uncertainty, forcing the regime to hunt for traitors, real or imagined, within its own ranks, and creating distrust among its own ranks. Loyalty becomes a commodity, and paranoia reigns supreme. The goal isn't conquest, it's not about occupying territory or overthrowing the government, but deterrence and delay, buying time and preventing the worst-case scenario. Pushing back Iran's nuclear timeline, one operation at a time, a constant game of cat and mouse. The strategy extends beyond nukes. It encompasses a broader effort to contain Iranian influence. The Soleimani strike, though American, served as a stark reminder that no one is untouchable, fit the doctrine of neutralizing threats, eliminating key figures who pose an immediate danger, and disrupting Iran's regional power, undermining their ability to project force and destabilize the region. But it's a dangerous game, a high-stakes gamble with potentially catastrophic consequences. Each success increases the risk of escalation. The more Iran is pushed, the more likely they are to lash out. The 2024 missile exchanges served as a chilling reminder, showed how quickly the shadow war can spill into open conflict. The line between covert operations and open warfare is becoming increasingly blurred. Israel's message is clear, a warning delivered not through words, but through actions. We can reach you anywhere. No matter where you hide, we will find you. If the world won't stop you, we will. A declaration of intent, a promise to act when others hesitate. For Iranian scientists and officers, those directly involved in the regime's dangerous ambitions, the warning is personal. It's not just about national security, it's about individual survival. Your job could get you killed. A chilling reminder of the personal cost of serving a dangerous regime. The silence isn't an absence of a message. It's a carefully crafted statement. The silence is the message. From Tehran's streets to Baghdad's corridors of power, this shadow war is a relentless chess game with human lives as pieces. The assassinations of Soleimani and Fakhrizadeh are just the most visible moves in a conflict that's constantly evolving. Each Israeli strike is a strategic victory and a step closer to open war. The line between covert operation and active war is razor thin, and it's being tested again and again. The story isn't over. It's being written every day in secret briefings and shadowy operations. The next move could come at any time, with consequences that could reshape the world. Want to unravel more shadow wars? Hit subscribe, and let's dive deeper together.